Hi all, this is Alessandro from Sonora Cinematic. Today I'm here to introduce you to Amber, a brand new virtual instrument that will allow you to create incredible cinematic horror soundscapes. Amber comes from a new partnership between Sonora Cinematic and Swish Swoosh and is an exceptional tool for dark music and sound design. For the release we created a trailer which effectively consists of 4 different horror scenes. So given that Halloween is very close, I thought we'd do this walkthrough in a slightly different way and show you how I scored the video using nothing but Amber. If you haven't watched the final result yet, you can do it by following this link. Amber offers 2 different modes of operation that you can select the first time that you open the instrument. The XY pad allows you to move the cursor to crossfade between 2 different color layers. And with the one-shot mode, you can create hits, impacts, risers, and much more. Now let's start scoring the video. I'm going to tackle the first scene using the XY pad mode so that we can get a soundscape going. I'm going to pick trill strings for the first layer and whisperer for the second. Let's see how it sounds. Amber also allows you to add a drone which is constantly playing. You can pick different one, playing the different keys. Let me disable the color layers for a second so that we can audition the layers exclusively. Very cool. I'm gonna add this one, I think. That's really cool. And let's hear how it sounds with the color layers on as well. You can really create these sounds that are in between music and sound design. And to finish this sound off, and this is kind of my favorite part, you can process the sound using 10 different reverbs and custom impulse responses that are called scenes, so that you can really place your sound into a space. Let's try Haunted Hill for this one. We need to turn it on, obviously. Listen to the space, it sounds really cool. And now you'll see that I have all these ready to go in the track just below, and I have written just a simple long MIDI note and some MIDI automation to move the x-axis of the XY pad so that we can move gradually between whisperer and trill strings, which sort of creates this really cool riser sort of thing that ends abruptly right when we have our first picture cut. Now it's time to add some accents using the impacts in the one-shot mode. And you can really see how we are scoring this scene with some very minimal material, just a couple of tracks from Amber. And as a final touch, there is a process symbol under reverse, which I really love. Let's hear how it sounds. I layered it with the first impact. You'll see that I have rendered to audio these impacts. The reason is simply that I find tweaking MIDI notes for the timing particularly annoying, so I just render them to audio and then move the audio file around. Now let's transition to the second scene. It's time to introduce something a little more melodic. So let's go to the one shots again, and we have cello tension, and there are lots of really cool little cello phrases. You'll see that he has some distortion and compression on. Let's turn them off. And I also have one of the scenes, Bloody Tail, which is a delay. So let's turn it off so we can hear it completely raw. Really well recorded. And I really love these little semitone intervals. So I built a little motif using just those, and this basically starts during the transition between the first and the second scene, and then it carries throughout the second scene, just like this. And the atmospheric track that you were hearing together with this little motif is again coming from the XY pads. I have started a new patch using the broken cello together with Frantic, which is really cool. And here's how it sounds. There are some evil laughs that I absolutely love, and then there is this other one that starts in the second part of the scene, in the last cut, which uses some bells of doom, which sound like this. And shockwave. All these are super cool, and you'll see that it snaps back, and the reason is that I have some automations for those, and again I'm just automating the XY layer a little bit to create some movements. Then for this scene I was really feeling some classic pulsing heartbeats, so I went into the one-shot hits and I picked one of the sounds that is sort of a knock really, but I made it sound a bit like a heartbeat. Literally skipped a beat here, and the reason is that there is this other hit that is playing as another accent just underneath. And the final touch for the second scene is this other section, which is really cool, and it's called jump scares, and you have this sort of sound. And again, I added a lot of distortion here to spice up things. That's how it sounds without. For the third scene, which is this sort of steampunk, really dark atmosphere, the cello is really the star of the section. I just love these little signature sounds. Listen to them. Again with distortion and compression. The hits that I added here contribute to building up the rhythm. We have this character who's up to no good and we don't know what it is, but we need to communicate this tension through the music, and that's what these fantastic hits are doing here. For the final scene, I shifted gear quite a bit in the composition. I went with something way more atmospheric and with almost no rhythm at all, other than for a couple of accents provided by the hits. The first layer of these atmospheres is represented by 3 different XY pads. There is these Bells of Doom and Shockwave that we already listened to. But here are a couple of different ones that I designed. I have this Electric Chair and Tortured that I am using for the final cut over here when he is holding the pistol in his hand. And then there is this Lost Soul Creep, which is really, really creepy. And it has these sort of vocal elements that I think work really well. And of course I'm still using the drones and the scenes. And for the first part instead, I have this earthquake, which sounds very, very cool. Are some really low pitched sounds. I think it's all about using music to support the storytelling process, and Amber provides me with the tools to make this happen. Amber and Little Amber, which is completely free, are both available right now at sonoracinematic.com. We're running an intro price on Amber, which is available for a limited amount of time, so please check it out in the description down below, and I really hope that you like it as much as I do. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.